I want to share some of my life experiences with you, just to explain how I became the person I am today. When I reached my 40 seconds, I started looking back at my 20 seconds and 30 seconds, wondering where all the time had gone. Life had changed so much. Back then you feel unstoppable. You work hard, party hard, barely sleep, then wake up the next morning and do it all over again like nothing happened. You honestly believe you have unlimited time ahead of you. In those years, life feels simple, almost untouchable. I was single for most of it, in and out of relationships, but nothing truly permanent. Love came and went, plans kept changing. You keep telling yourself, one day I'll have this, one day I'll become that, and somehow, without even noticing it, years disappear. Then suddenly you turn 40 and sit there thinking, what actually happened? Where did all that time go? That's when reality quietly hits you. Time is not endless. Every second that passes is gone forever. And when I look back now, I realize how much energy I wasted on things that never truly mattered. Chasing material things, wanting a better car, arguing with people I loved, stressing over jobs, promotions, and proving myself to people who probably forgot about me anyway. At some point you stop and ask yourself, was any of it really worth it? Then in my mid-40s, I went through a major health scare. And honestly, that moment changed everything for me. It forced me to slow down and really look at my life for the first time. Suddenly, the things I thought were important didn't seem important anymore. My priorities changed, the way I saw people changed, even the way I saw time changed. That experience became a turning point. The moment that slowly shaped me into the person I am today. Now I'm at a point in life where I honestly feel more at peace within myself, and I've realized something difficult but important. The time I have left is probably much shorter than the time that's already passed. That's why I want to enjoy life while I still can. If there's something you want to change, start now. Because tomorrow is never guaranteed. At the end of the day, all we truly have is this present moment and the choices we make inside it. In the search for happiness, we often end up chasing things that don't actually matter. But I think that's part of being young. You feel full of energy, full of life, and you want everything all at once. So you run after success, money, status, anything that promises happiness. Sometimes we stay in jobs that slowly destroy us mentally because we're too afraid to leave the financial security behind, even when we know deep down we're unhappy there. Relationships can be the same way. In my 20 seconds, I had several relationships, and honestly, they were meaningful to me at the time. I have good memories from them, but people change, goals change, life moves people in different directions, and that's okay. Sometimes love is real for a season, not forever. What matters is that you grow from those experiences instead of holding on to something that no longer makes either person happy. And if you feel unhappy, talk about it honestly, because chances are your partner feels it too. It wasn't until I completely hit rock bottom in my 40 seconds that I finally understood something. Almost everything I thought was important actually wasn't. What truly mattered was my family, my health, and learning how to take care of myself before it was too late. Years of unhealthy habits and the lifestyle I lived in my 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and even early 40s had already damaged my body in ways that would never fully recover. And sadly, it took a traumatic event to finally wake me up and force me to change. I just hope you don't have to learn the hard way like I did. Try to recognize what truly matters before life forces you to stop and see it. Find the things that genuinely bring you peace, because I still know people my age, even older, who spend their entire lives consuming more and more, buying things, chasing bigger houses, more status, more stuff, believing happiness is somewhere in the next purchase. But all that consumption brings stress too, more fear, more pressure, more noise, and honestly, when they look at our quiet life now, they almost don't understand it. But we're happy. We don't feel trapped by constant stress anymore. We don't need everything to feel complete. Sometimes the best moments in life are the simplest ones. Walking outside, sitting quietly in nature, breathing fresh air, slowing down for a minute. Life doesn't always have to be rush, rush, rush. Sometimes peace is found in the ordinary things we used to ignore. One of the biggest things I've learned as I've gotten older is how important it is to slow down, really slow down, learn to enjoy the journey instead of constantly chasing some final destination. Because honestly, there is no finish line waiting for us. Life is happening right now, in these small moments we usually rush past. The only guaranteed ending for all of us is the same, so why spend your whole life sprinting through it without ever truly living it? Another thing that held me back for years was fear. Fear of failure controlled more of my life than I realized at the time. There were opportunities I never took simply because I was scared of looking foolish, scared of failing, scared of change, so I kept delaying things. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe next week, I need more time to think. We become experts at creating excuses to avoid uncomfortable decisions, but the truth is, tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. As you get older, you start understanding that more deeply because loss becomes more real. In your 20s and 30 seconds, death feels distant, almost unreal, but later in life you begin losing people you love, parents, cousins, brothers, sisters, old friends. Illness and aging become part of life in a way they never were before, and that changes your perspective completely. It makes you realize how pointless grudges really are. If there's someone you miss, someone you still care about, reach out, say hello, rebuild the connection if it matters to you, because one day you may lose the chance forever, and when it comes to changing your life, nobody is going to magically appear and push you forward. At our age, you realize that very clearly. Nobody is coming to save you, nobody can make the decision for you. If you want change, you have to choose it yourself. You have to step into the fear and do it anyway. That's exactly what I had to do with this YouTube channel. I was terrified of putting myself out there, talking to a camera, sharing my feelings, opening up about my life experiences to strangers. But I did it anyway. And honestly, it feels incredible. It gave me energy again. It reminded me that growth still exists at any age if you're willing to step outside your comfort zone. And something else beautiful happened too. I reconnected with people I hadn't spoken to in almost 30 years. Relationships I thought were gone forever suddenly came back into my life, and there's something deeply emotional about reconnecting with people who knew a younger version of you. For me, many of those memories came from my time in Australia, talking to old friends. From that chapter of my life brought back parts of myself I had forgotten. It helps you understand who you were and who you've become. So don't give up on people who mattered to you. If someone has been on your mind lately, maybe that feeling is there for a reason. Take the first step, reach out. Sometimes one small message can reconnect an entire part of your life you thought was gone forever. Don't sit around waiting for other people to reconnect with you, because sometimes they never will. If someone matters to you, take that first step yourself. Looking back on your life honestly is one of the most powerful ways to grow as a person. Most of us spend our 20s, 30 seconds, and even 40 seconds constantly moving, consuming, chasing things, surviving day by day without ever slowing down long enough to truly reflect. But eventually, life brings you to a stage where reflection becomes necessary, and I think this is also where spirituality or faith begins to grow stronger. At least that's how it's been for me. The older I get, the more I value inner peace over outside success. Even making these videos has become part of my own healing process. Sharing my thoughts forces me to reflect on my own life, my mistakes, my growth, and the person I'm still becoming. And maybe if someone listening hears something they needed to hear, it helps them reflect on their own life too. You don't have to race into your senior years filled with stress and exhaustion. You can slow down, you can breathe, you can choose a simpler life and actually enjoy it instead of constantly worrying about everything. One thing I've noticed as I've gotten older is that I don't let fear control me the way it used to. Sure, I still worry sometimes, I still struggle with health issues, and I've spent a lot of time in hospitals over the last few months. Some days are hard, some days I feel depressed, but I try not to stay there mentally. I try to lift myself back up and keep moving forward, and honestly, being alone sometimes isn't always a bad thing. Solitude can teach you a lot about yourself if you let it. It gives you space to think, to reflect, to meditate, to understand your own mind without constant noise around you. Because the truth is, life doesn't give us rewinds. There's no starting over from the beginning, no second version. This moment right now is the only life we get, and every day that passes is one day we can never take back. That's why I try to remind myself to love deeply, to allow myself to be loved, and to stop wasting energy on fear or meaningless things that don't truly matter. Be kind to people, seriously. Be kind. Everyone is carrying something you can't see, and at the end of the day we only get one life, so enjoy it while you still can. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And until next time,